on your Channel 7. Yelm, Washington to the world. Woo! Time to let your rhythm be born.
Hello, world.
Hello.
This is KRSE Radio, and we are broadcasting from Yelm, Washington. KRSE is a recent addition to Ramtha School of Enlightenment, a brand new platform to reach out to the world. Ramtha began mentioning KRSE Radio show in the early 90s, 1999 actually. And recently, about a year ago, Jay-Z Knight got pretty excited about it and asked me and my co-host to go ahead and put the radio show together, and here we are.
Here we are in the Pacific Northwest, coming to the world.
Yeah, so I'd like to introduce my co-host to you.
My name is Jaime Leal Anaya, and I'm very, very excited to be here with you and with Laura, and to finally see this take flight.
And it is going to fly. So just a brief introduction. My name is Laura Mooney, and I was born in Tampa, Florida in the 50s.
Nice.
I went to the University of South Florida on an athletic scholarship. I joined the United States Army in the early 80s. I went to Officer Candidate School. I also had Airborne Ranger School there, graduated from Army Airborne School. Had a little air assault training. Hoorah.
Nice. That sounds fun.
Oh, exhausting, to say the least. Then I continued my education and went on and got my master's degree while I was at Fort Benning there at Troy University. Seems so long ago. We don't want to date ourselves, though, right? Then I went ahead and I was in the military police corps. I worked in law enforcement there. I had a canine unit, had some counterterrorism training, and then I facilitated evaluating military police National Guard units.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And what else did I do? Oh, we had lovely training, military operations on urban terrain, which you see a lot of that going on today.
Wow.
Yeah. And I retired in the early 90s as a captain. And after that, I worked in the transportation industry, you know, the big trucks you see going down the road, a lot of logistics involved in that. And then I went on and I worked for Boeing for a while in international security.
Nice.
I'm also a retired business owner. I created a medical clinic and recently retired from that. And I have been an RSE student, Ramtha School of Enlightenment, since 1989. I'm one of the appointed teachers at the school since 2004. Been quite a journey.
Very, very nice, Laura. Yes, like I said, my name is Jaime Leal Anaya. I was born in Mexico, in Baja, and my spiritual journey took me on a scholarship to Ireland, and I ended up signing up and staying there. I have a master's degree in theology and philosophy. I was going to be a Catholic priest until the truth was too blatantly obvious in front of me, and I realized I was wanting to know everything I could about Christ and becoming like Christ, but I couldn't find it there in the seminary. So I left, but I got a degree and a master's degree in that, and I'm very grateful I had that because it gave me a great foundation for understanding what became later my participation as a student of RSE. Since 1993, that's when I started, right after graduating, magna cum laude in the university, St. Patrick's College in Ireland. I loved it there, beautiful. Left a lot of very good friends that I consider my family there. And then I came over here to the Pacific Northwest and to learn everything I could about how to really become a Christ alive in our personal life and how to become a master, following Ramtha's direction. And then back in 2009, then I was incorporated as a teacher as well, with Laura and with a couple of others. So we take charge of creating, producing the events, presenting the events from Ramtha's teachings around the world. We have traveled many places. And before that, in 2000, Ramtha appointed me to take charge of the publishing house at Ramtha School. So I have over a dozen publications and books, been far and wide, translated in many languages, and so I've been very involved in that. I'm also an author and a publisher. I also have my own publishing company, Hunalier, and I continue to, under license, I continue to produce books of Ramtha's teachings with the JSC's permission, and other authors that would support this great spiritual movement that we're all part of and very proud of, bringing that super consciousness, that new light to the world that we all desire to come and to be part of all our lives and inspire us and guide us in these troubling, changing times. And this great awakening, that Ramtha talks about from way back, The Last Waltz of the Tyrants, and famous book, well known, very much referenced by many important people in the movement. So yeah, and I was part of publishing that precise title, The Last Waltz of the Tyrants, A Prophecy Revisited. That was my publishing work, and for JZ Knight and representing the school. So I'm very proud of that. So that's been my journey, and I'm very proud to be a student, a continuing student since '93 of Ramtha School, and now part of the teaching team as well since 2009. And today, with KRSE Radio, bringing you super consciousness to the world, something Ramtha talked about and predicted that he wished that it was taken on and someone would take it on, and here we are.
Here we are. That is quite a background.
Yeah, well, likewise, my friend.
Mm-hmm. So, a moment ago, Jaime mentioned, that we traveled all over the world, and it's true. We have students in 93 countries.
Wow.
And they participate in online courses. So if you're not able to actually come to campus, you can attend the classes, which are vast library online. We also have event coordinators all over the world.
Coordinators, yes.
Which Jaime and I facilitate those coordinators, those beautiful students who like to facilitate events in their own venues, in their own country. And they're all around the world. Yeah,
Latin America, Canada, Europe, all the way to Japan and Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah. We were blessed to be able to travel all over the place.
Oh, very blessed.
I mean,
I miss it.
We have coordinators in Russia, Romania.
Yeah. China.
Yeah. Hong Kong, Japan, Taiwan, South Korea is a little quiet right now. Australia? New Zealand,
Australia, Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, Argentina, all over.
It's just fabulous. So
Venezuela as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chile, Paraguay. I mean, we're everywhere.
We are everywhere.
And people can access and see all of this at the ramtha.com website, for the school. There's a lot of information there. That you can visit and check it out for yourself,
Yeah. There's actually a lot of free teachings to either watch or read as well on the website.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with RSE is an academy of the mind. And we're not a religion.
Definitely not.
So we're going to play a short clip for you with Ramtha, in his own words, talking about the fact that we're not a religion.
Let's hear that.
We are not a religion. We are a school of thought. And you are students, however long you wish to be here. It's up to you what you want to be filled with. But we are not a religion. Moreover, we are not a belief system, because belief is conjecturous. And in this, I take issue that yes, We are contrary to Buddhism in many ways. We are contrary to every known belief system. And that is not altogether a wretched thing, but it is what all of them were striving to find and got lost in their own control. And the thread of truth and the sanctity of the individual got lost. I propose to you this. If life is a gift, if we are here to make known the unknown, then we are the engines of evolution. It is important that our consciousness give leadership to the reality that we create, because we breathe into it the breath of life. And what I mean by that is in no way are you to meditate every day of the rest of your life. No way are you to fast for the rest of your life. This isn't preventing life. When one is in a constant state of meditation, one has failed to live and have utterly thrown away from them and pushed away from them the temptation to walk as God. Why do the monks grow old and die? Because they've never lived. Whether or not, why is it that a place is more important than those who are in it? It matters not where places are. It only matters where we are. Home and what is holy and what is sacred is right where you're at, even if you are a traveler on the highways and byways. Wherever you are at home. Wherever you lay your beautiful head, whether it is upon silk or in a rough-hewn pallet beside a stream, you are in a divine place. You were never outside of it. We are a humble school. Wherever we can, whatever we have to sit under. And on the ground, the sweeter, no frequency is more beautiful than the ground you're sitting on. Because it's not about the place. It is about you, and that is our work. To understand that the prize of your reality is not the people, places, things, times, and event. The jewel of your nirvana is not a place, it's you. And the holiest of holies resides in you. To cast your power elsewhere is to give away what is the most meaningful, the most innately inspiring, the most beautifully led, the most future hopeful awakening is to give it all away for providence, social consciousness, and religious thought. You are good enough. And seeking to understand why you are red and what red is a mystery all about you. You are the greatest mystery that you don't know. You are the greatest find you have not found. You are the greatest power that you have not seen. For you are wearing the yoke of your past and have not sensed the doingness of any future at all. That is our work, is to change all of that.
So it is us. We're the living temple of God. We don't need to be anywhere.
Just like Yeshua really said, the original words of Christ, is you're the greatest temple. God is in you.
Beautiful. So, what does Ramtha say RSE is about? Should we play that clip?
Yeah,
It's not what people think.
definitely not. It's much bigger than that.
So when people say, well, what do you do at that school? You can say, well, how long do you have? I went on a calling in search of God, and I found rock and roll. I also found quantum physics that made more sense out of unconditional love and supreme allowing, and it explains ultimately why everyone is alive outside of Christian doctrine. It's also through this amoral science that I came to terms with. It explained to me my own reality, what was in my head. And I kept playing the program of lack and guilt and failure and neglect. I kept playing the program of ineptness. I kept playing the program that I needed the world to love me because the world was going to substitute for myself that was actually incapable of loving me because I was the only one that knew all my own secrets. So I came to this school and I learned science, neuroscience, quantum physics, neurobiology, physical biology. I have learned about reality, and learning all of that was a supplement that made me follow that I knew somewhere in my heart and indeed in my mind that God had a greater connection to me than any social group and its proselytizing of truth ever said to me. I was an outsider from the get-go because I questioned and I found a place. Besides all of that, we drink wine, we smoke a pipe, we have rock and roll, we have a community at which people are not judged on what they wear, how young they are, how old they are, how skinny they are, how fat they are, except for a few. And we have learned to avoid those few. So be that. We have come to a place without restrictions. And I can tell you in all earnestness, without restriction, I came to a school that listened to my heart because the teachings were geared to my heart and were geared to my mind and geared to my troubled and restless soul. And I came to a place to where life is actually manifest in probability there. And everybody is on different levels of reality. I can never make the world believe in me. I can only believe in myself.
So be that.
I concur.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when I first met the Ram back in '89, and there's just something that it resounds in you. You hear the message, and when you first began, back then, you didn't really understand why. You do now.
Yeah, I definitely, for me, it was finding someone that claimed to know how to do this, because in the church, everybody believes, what Christ said, but then no one knows how to go about it. When he says, these things you will do and greater, and, the Father that is in me is in you, and all those iconic, beautiful statements from Jesus, they all believe in it, but then, okay, so what do I do with it? And when I came to school, the Ram, had this presentation and these teachings, that would show the way and then say, this is the way that I took, and this is how I arrived to my enlightenment, and I'm going to show you what I know, what I learned, and this is what we'll do. So I was very excited to find the school.
Me too.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't have any religious background. I wasn't brought up in any religious mode whatsoever. But the beauty of it is that Ramtha does give you the knowledge, but then it is your own journey. It's like, how many people do we know and they're on the path to their own personal enlightenment, but their journey is completely different than ours. It's not, there's no clone. You are absolutely an individual, and what you learn and how you experience is going to be unique to you.
Beautiful. That's why it's not a religion. It's a school, an academy, he said.
Yeah. So let's hear what Ramtha says about who he is, because you and I both, watching him over very, very many years, we understand that he has this ability to speak to all people.
Yes.
So let's see why.
I'm older than any of you. I wear the face of middle age, but beautifully. I am a magician. I am a scientist. I am a physicist. I am a wizard. You love me for everything you see in me, and I appeal to everyone. Just take a moment and look at me. Take a moment and look at me. Shh. Am I not the great woman? Am I not the noble and wise man? Am I not a crossover without sexuality? Am I not a god? Am I not a wizard? Am I not a scientist? Am I not a leader? And I wear all these faces.
He wears all those faces. That's what enables him to be able to speak to all people, because he is all people.
Yeah, I mean, like, take you and I, very different backgrounds, very different journeys, personal journeys, but in the end, we are human beings. And we are spiritual by nature because, as Christ said, God lives within you, within everyone, regardless whether you're baptized or not, or there's a church or there was no church at the time of Christ. He speaks, Ramtha speaks, similar as Yeshua did, as Christ did, to all people, because we are all human beings and we're all searching for the same answers to our life.
Exactly. The same answers to, why am I here?
Yeah.
What am I? Who am I ultimately? Why do I hear other things in my head? What is that?
Yeah.
There's so many things that get answered with the teachings, the great work.
Yeah. Understanding who we are and this beautiful gift of life, and what do we do with this, and how do we give thanks, for such a beautiful gift that we share and that we love to share with those we love.
That is beautiful. I think that, when each of us can actually empower another on their journey, whatever that journey is, and support them, but support them with knowledge that only helps them find their way, I don't think there's much better than that.
Yeah, and make up their own decision, because that's what makes us divine, the ability to have free will, to make up our own mind, to learn knowledge that we can then, choose, this is the path I must follow, because like you said, it resonates inside of me.
Yeah. I want to go back a little bit here and talk about Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And the testing, that
the
occurred.
Channel, yeah.
The channel of Ramtha, the Enlightened One. 1996, they came, scientists, you want to...
Yeah, there was a big conference at the conclusion of 2 years of testing. And there was a group of scholars that suggested to JC, hey, would you be open to us coming and testing you and before channeling and after channeling Ramtha and the students, and to observe the school and do a study on it? And she welcomed them straight away. It's just, please come. So we were there. That was back in 1996 when they wired Ramtha. So they did it 3 times, but JC wanted one of the instances done in public, and she asked all the students who wanted to come. So I was there. And the scientists, were all set up on the stage, and you see Ramtha sitting on his chair, with all the wires hooked up to the computer. And the scientists running back and forth. That was so much fun because their computers were just, when Ramtha comes in and JC leaves her body and Ramtha comes in and starts channeling, Ramtha really takes hold of the brain and the functions, to be able to teach in person, and the computers went crazy, So then the scientists were running back and forth, and afterwards there was a conference that they showed all the results, and they showed like this is not a fake, impossible to fake the autonomous nervous system, 8 different channels, and we don't know who Ramtha is, we don't have his bio, but he definitely, there was something happening, a real phenomenon. Is not JC, and JC says, I was telling you the truth from the beginning.
Yeah. And those scientists that were there have also studied gurus all around the world.
Right. Stanley Krippner is one of them, a famous parapsychologist. He was like the founder of the Association of Parapsychology here in the United States, from the Bay Area, where I believe he still teaches there. He's, I think he's still involved there in the university teaching psychology. He studied parapsychology. He went around the world studying all kinds of shamans and Hindu, masters and yoga masters and all kinds of people. And he was duly impressed when he met JC and Ramtha.
Yeah. And what was that other quite unique thing? They had not told anybody that they were going to go set out a few hundred yards away some more equipment to see if the geomagnetic field was even affected.
They kept it a secret because they were following it as a scientific experiment. They were really following the science, to make it rigorous, so that they could, really show the world, this was done correctly as a scientist would do. So they didn't tell anybody. They set up their equipment out a few yards, 100 yards away from the arena where Ramtha was coming in. And when Ramtha came into the picture, their machines just spiked. And they were measuring the geomagnetic field, so that's the magnetic field of the Earth, of the planet. And it spiked, so it showed when Ramtha came in and when Ramtha left, when JC stopped channeling. Ramtha left, and so they were able to record that and see it on their equipment, and then afterwards tell Jay-Z, hey, we didn't tell you, but hey, here it is, and this is like outstanding, this is extraordinary.
That'd be like the whole chart just went off the chart because the whole magnetic field was spiked.
And they did publish a paper in some famous scientific journal. They published their findings. They were very, very impressed with what they found.
Mm-hmm. And if you actually ever attend the school and learn about the body and the bands and all those different wonderful characteristics about us, you'll be able to understand why that did occur.
Yeah.
And we, of course, welcome you to do that.
Please come.
Please
if you
come.
feel inspired, if you're looking for something, we love to welcome you.
Yes. So how about, I'm going to just real quick read our KRSE mission statement here.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
That's a great idea. Yeah.
So back in 2015, Ramtha made a comment at a summer event, and he said humanitarianism is to create something that lifts all boats. So our mission statement is we're going to delve into the critical topics of our time, and there are many. Whether it is gene therapy, DNA, human trafficking, the transgender agenda, religion,
truth,
the spiritual war that is raging, politics, social engineering, the healthcare system, the food we eat or don't eat, the assault on nature, the sacredness of all life, the power of mind and free will, as Jaime just mentioned,
yes,
the divine within every person, and much more. By participating with us here at KRSE Radio, you have a grand opportunity to share with us these topics head on. And we're going to be sharing the wisdom of a master teacher, Ramtha the Enlightened One, who's been delivering extraordinary teachings at Ramtha School of Enlightenment for over 40 years, in which he has described decades ahead of time with uncanny accuracy
Yes.
the challenging times we currently live in. So we're going to intersperse music of the 60s and rock your soul
Yeah. I
as
like it.
we collectively look, listen, and individually exercise our free will to mindfully make choices that will impact our world. So we are going to ask you to join us and be part of a humanitarian effort to inspire and lift us all from the murk and mire of our times and help create a better future for our world.
With a light heart.
Indeed.
Ramtha has so much to say. You know, Jay-Z has been channeling Ramtha for over 4 decades. That's more than 40 years.
40 years of light.
Of extraordinary teachings, way ahead of its time in science, in politics, in what the future was coming, you know, around the corner. He has about alien technology, about alien races as well, you know, because we're a much bigger family than just on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And he has so much to say. And I'm very excited about this opportunity to have KRSE be open to the world, because we really love this opportunity to share Ramtha's wisdom and what Ramtha has had to say about all the things we are facing right now. It's so important. And hopefully, you know, people will be inspired as we have been and find a new voice, you know, that is speaking in these troubling times, that brings inspiration, direction, and light, that we're not alone and that we do have a future. We're just getting started.
That's right. We are the light and we're going to shine. So we look forward to you joining us at our future episodes. And we're going to close out this intro.
But visit KRSE.com, our website. It's under construction. It's going to continue to have more and more information added as we move along, but it's there already. So visit KRSE.com. You'll see extended bios, you know, for the journey that Laura and I have taken in our personal life. You'll be able to read that there. You'll be able to read the mission statement. You'll be able to see the little jingle, you know, a little video clip, you know, showcasing what this KRSE Radio is about.
And also some photos of Ramtha when he was wired.
Some photos of what we were talking about. And we will archive all of the episodes as we move forward. And you'll be able to see the episodes there and choose what you want to listen to and follow it up. And we look forward to seeing you there and getting comments from you.
So be it. Enjoy life. We'll talk to you in the future.
See you then.
This is KRSE on your Channel 7. Yelm, Washington to the world. Woo! Time to let your rhythm be born.